There are a lot of reasons why Austin is a great place for South by Southwest. Probably the foremost of those reasons is just there's so much creativity and creative people in Austin, and that's again what we've always tried to emphasize as the bottom line of South by Southwest Interactive, that people are doing very, very creative things that just happens to be new media or new technology that they're using as a means to this creativity. Interactive was traditionally the smallest aspect of South by Southwest and probably would not have survived some fairly lean years if not for South by Southwest Music paying a lot of the bills. That said, we have been lucky enough to experience a lot of growth over the last 5 years, and we now have more registrants than music or film, so that's nice to see. I mean, it's very nice to be a part of that growth after struggling through some very tough times when we were trying everything and not growing a whole lot. At South by Southwest 10 or 15 years ago, we had tons of bands coming to Austin with a suitcase full of CDs, and they wanted to get a CD to the A&R person who was probably, having drinks all day at the Four Seasons. Because of the nature of the content industry changing, that's not so important anymore. I mean, bands can load their video up to YouTube and get exposure that way. But I do think that whole model has changed a little. So we've got, all these VCs now in Austin in March, and all these young entrepreneurs coming to town with their business plan and trying to get that in the hands of VCs and trying to kind of find the same equation that we had with music before. But again, this is all good things. It's great to have that energy, that excitement, that anticipation that people can come to South by Southwest and they can make the connection that will, change their lives forever. South by Southwest, to remain relevant, always has to be fluid and always has to change and always has to try to stay ahead of the market as opposed to, trying to emulate what we did 5 years ago. The fact that Twitter, was here in 2007 and has become such a huge thing in the succeeding years has helped us grow a lot, in the sense that lots of startups, lots of potential startups, lots of aspiring entrepreneurs think that South by Southwest is the place to go to be discovered and to become the next Twitter. We've seen other high-profile launches here, particularly in 2009. Foursquare launched here, as did Gowalla. Lots more in 2010, 2011, although most of the things are companies that we may not have heard of yet. And again, that's kind of the pattern with South by Southwest, is something launches here, it gains traction with this, kind of somewhat insular, cutting-edge tech crowd. It won't necessarily spread to the more mainstream crowd for a couple of years. So I think we'll know, later in 2012, 2013, which of the companies from 2011 that launched at South by Southwest are particularly hot. Austin's a great place to visit. There's great weather here in March. It's the best weather of the year, I think. It's not too hot yet. It's usually not too cold yet. There are lots of great restaurants, lots of great things to do. And, we spend a hell of a lot of time working on panels, working on trade show, working on other programming, yada, 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 and try to make that as good as possible. And hopefully that, meets the expectations, satisfies, however you want to phrase that, for our registrants. But in reality, that's only half the battle. What sells a lot of people is just coming down and enjoying Austin and enjoying, again, the food or the people or the restaurants or the vibe. It's such a different city than so many other places, and again, we couldn't pull this off anywhere else, I don't think. Some of the things that I'm most excited about in Austin now, and again, this is kind of from a bigger picture perspective, is just the amount of startups here, the amount of startup energy here, the amount of overall tech energy here. And I also really am excited by how these kind of more traditional industries, organizations, such as the City of Austin, such as the Chamber of Commerce, are realizing how much potential there is there and how much potential there is for the future of Austin. There are a lot of ways that Austinites can take advantage of the event. If people in Austin have the resources and interest in registering, it's again a great way to learn what is coming up in the technology world. Someone mentioned to me this summer that they go to South by Southwest Interactive to see what will be hot in 2 years. So I think that's a great description of the event. Now, I encourage all of Austin to take part and take advantage of just the creativity and energy and excitement that is in the air during South by Southwest. Man, again, it's just that mix of so many creative people and so many ideas and so much new energy. It just is a very special time of the year. I think Austin is just supportive, and there's a community presence here that a lot of cities don't have. And again, Austin is a vital part of the South by Southwest success story.